it's Marlo. I'm back. Yes, founder of the Crafted Pen and host of the Small Business Radio Detroit. This is the podcast where we turn barriers into bridges for entrepreneurs who are building from the heart, the hustle, and the hope. Today's episode is for anyone who has ever built something out of love, right? Not just for profit. Because behind every powerful small business is a story that is rooted deep in purpose. And today's guest, she is living proof. Okay. We are going to be joined today by Romona Greenlee. She's a paraeducator, community leader, and founder of Empower Social Circle and Twins and Company. So she specializes in creating safe, supportive spaces for the special needs community, serving with deep compassion, empowerment, and education. And she's not just running a business, guys. She's really building a sense of belonging for these children. So, in this episode, we'll talk about the power of visibility that the world often overlooks when it comes down to niche service businesses, how Ramona has created real impact by merging her personal mission with her professional expertise, and what it takes to grow. You know, what it takes to grow when time, team, and tools are very limited, and how strong operations, and community connection can really fuel sustainable change. So, if you're a purpose driven founder feeling stuck in silence, this episode will remind you that your voice, your vision, and your work matters. Let's get into it. Hello, hello. Good evening, Ramona. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. How are you, Miss Marlowe?
Oh, I am doing excellent, excellent. And I am just so excited that you have, made the time to come on today. Listen, always on the hustle. I see you in the car now.
I'm in the car at a birthday party, girl. Yes,
Yeah.
I am. It's Sky Zone. Anything for the family, sweetheart.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And that's what I was just saying, um everything that you're doing right now is from the heart, and I'm just super duper excited that you're on
Oh,
today. Yes. And going to be telling us so much more about Empower Social Circle and Twins and Company. So I know at Twins and Company, that's where you provide those sensory items for the special needs community, and then taking it another notch with the Empowerment Social Circle and creating an actual sense of belonging for these children. So tell us a little bit more about how did it all start? What inspired you to create this magnificent space for these children?
oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Miss Marlowe. It has been a pleasure to know you from the day one, when we met, and how you inspired me to get to where I am right now. I remember all our conversations to get us to where we is right here today. But
Yeah.
just to share a little bit about myself, today I am Romona Greenlee. I have a story behind of what I am doing. I have two twin boys I didn't have since they were 1.5 and they 12. So it has been a journey to take me on to where I'm at today. When I got these boys when they was 1.5, they was my daughter's friends. Mom ended up going to jail. Dad brought them to my daughter. Um, Mom was gone for over maybe 7 months. When she came out, I served her papers. At that time, it was just a lot going on for mom, and I understand. I didn't know it then, but then now I understand it. Then dad ended up going to jail. So
Oh,
my
wow.
daughter's like, Mama, what you gonna do? I said, What you mean? Well, I'm gonna do what we gonna do.
Right.
Because their mother was my goddaughter. So,
Okay.
in the process of everything was going on, and we made it work. So make a long story short, these boys kept crying and screaming. I didn't know what was going on. They were nonverbal. I took them to the doctor. They both were diagnosed with PTSD, autism, and things like that. So they didn't start talking till they was about 4. So in the process of me going to ABA therapy, connecting with Luna assessment, connecting with Oakland Family Services, connecting with Easter Seal. Along my way, this journey with these people has helped me. So in
Yes.
the midst of ABA therapy, they gave them some little fidgets. And Aiden and Braylon would walk around with this fidget, and girl, it's like I had to keep up with a pacifier. You hear me?
Oh
I
wow.
couldn't let this fidget out of my sight. So every time I would get, I said, "Can I get another one?" So finally, I started investing in them. I
Yeah.
started getting like two or three at a time. So when they just for them to be able to have something in their hand. So after that, after they got diagnosed and went to school, and they ended up going to OSHA Head Start.
Okay.
And he was like, he was making this noise, So I knew what that was, that fidget. Where's that fidget? So I had to look for it. That day I went home and said, you know what? I'm going to create something
Yeah.
to share my story. And when he started talking, along the way, taking them to St. Joe's occupation speech, Miss Joanne, and the therapist at St. Joe's, along with the Pontiac School District at that time. But I needed a little bit more resource because the lady at ABA Therapist said, you can use Medicaid, and Medicaid would help them be able to talk more. Just use it. Well,
Yes. Yes.
anyway, make a long story short, they started talking at 6, between 5:30 and 6. And when he said, "Well, my toy," I turned around and said, "What? Lord, look at here, look at God, look at God, look at God."
That was
Then he was,
confirmation right there.
girl, he started talking more,
Like
talking
together.
more. But it was a challenge. I'm kind of going a little bit ahead, but it was a challenge within there. And it's always been me and my daughters. Even though mom was there, dad and them, or whatever the case may be. So those moments I would have loved to been able to enjoy with her. But I understand the challenges. It's 8 kids total. Okay. I
Yeah.
knew when God had my assignment with these kids. And I went on this journey. So going along with the Pontiac School District, with Dr. Jameson, special education, they did a wonderful job helping me, coach me to get to where I'm at today. I couldn't think a better district for what they've done. People can talk about Pontiac, but I'm rocking with Pontiac, and I'm a rock with Pontiac special education because Pontiac rocked with me. They
Yeah.
helped me get to this level. So at the end of the day, this me sharing my journey as they got older. COVID hit 2020 or 2020. And at that time, I'm like, what can I do to help create a story? I'm living this story. Why not? I came
Yeah.
up with Twins and Co. in the midst of COVID, and it just took me to another level. And my mission was to engage and encourage families to live a better a physical and individual, and just helping strengthen families in their lives. You know what I mean? As it
Yeah.
helps strengthen mine with these
Yes,
kids.
and thinking about your mission and thinking about, how deeply rooted your story is in something so touching and so daring. I mean, at that time, you being your kids being grown and thinking that, hey, you're done. You're what they call them, the golden years.
Yes, Lord, yes. Because my
And
oldest today is 23, but she
yes,
helped me. She
yes.
has helped me along this journey.
Yes, and then just diving right in, I really want to know a little bit more about you talk about what it is, your mission, and what you hope for families to get out of the empowered social circle, and what do you want, how you want them to feel when they're interacting with Twins and Co. So tell us a little more about what exactly does the organization stands for in terms of what makes your approach unique as a paraeducator, as a community leader in this field of social support and care?
What makes my story unique because it's an actual story that I live every day, Marlo.
Yes.
I'm able to share my story because this is what I walk and I talk every single day. So if I can help someone else, another family, another mother, another father, anybody out there, and I'm a part of grandparent raising grandkids. So we talk about a lot
Yes.
that goes on within our community and sharing other stories. Um, what I like about my program that I created with the help of the Lord, He's guiding me through this transition because I'm not a young lady anymore, as you can see. So this journey has been very
You only know
interesting
how
to
you
me.
feel and you getting around. So
I'm getting around with the help of my peers and my co-workers and just the people, my beautiful community in Pontiac. You
yes.
understand? I couldn't have made it without them. But just understanding my stuff. But I have to thank God for my pastor, Pastor Earl Crump, and his beautiful wife, Ernestine, because I came to them with open arms, and I needed that help and support from the community. Because Marlo, I thought I could do it by myself, and I couldn't.
No.
I needed that community to help me.
Yes.
So once I turned that over to the Lord and He worked it out for me, He really do. And I have not had to look back over my shoulders. Like the boys said, I have them in about 5 different programs. But those programs work, which is
Yes.
Identify Your Dream. I have them in Assets with Mr. Kano Phillips. I have had them in Pontiac United with Miss Tracy. I have them in Pontiac Youth System, and right now we have them in Dream Center. All these programs have helped me tremendously with these boys. So, as for parents that has not had the opportunity and the chance to do the things that I have, but I had to step out in faith.
Yes.
Okay, believing that they were going to help me and put these boys into mentoring. So, like I say, I live it every day. I want my story to be a vessel from some other parents and other families that's out here in this community. And I would be more of an educator if I didn't do what I did, because now I've been 5 years in the Pontiac district because of the boys,
Yes. Yes.
in this field. So it's been a beautiful thing to be able to enhance my ability to know that I'm capable and knowing that they're capable of
Yeah.
doing, you know.
Yes. And that community that you're cultivating amongst them, I see how you're also cultivating that community within your business. And I know you mentioned before, prior in some conversations that you and I have had, that you wanted to be more visible in the community. Can you
Yes,
share a moment where you felt unseen or disconnected as a small business owner?
I did because, like I said, I've had this twinning coach since 2021. And as you're doing it, you feel like alone because it's kind of hard getting people to understand your story and getting people hard to just putting yourself out there, Marlo. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? A lot of us don't want to tell our story because we're afraid somebody gonna look down on us. And I can say, let me just say for this for myself, I didn't want to share that because I thought people look at me like, oh, she got this, like it was just like it's easy to do. But in the inside, I was hurting, Marley, because I needed to share my story to be able to help someone. So once I shared it, it's just a flow. Like I said, I'm just here as a vessel to help someone else. And with my twins and co and my fidget, and then how I created this empower social circle because my boys lack social skills.
Yeah.
And by them, as they got old enough, and they was like, Mona, I want friends. Everybody laughs at me. Everybody call me special. I'm in this self-contained room. So I decided to step out on faith a year ago and create the social circle. And it's been a wonderful thing because I didn't have some wonderful mentors that then came into my program to actually see my program and see what I'm doing as far as teaching them life skills. I
Yeah.
have partnered with Better Detroit Brownies to where they're learning how to do brownies in the community, working with Mr. Rubin. That's been a wonderful thing to be able to teach them life skills to be able to cook and stand on their own one day. And that's my goal to do.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And again, it's so hard as just a general business owner to get that visibility that you
Yes.
need. But it's even more difficult when you're so niched down to a specific group. You really have to work a lot harder to make yourself visible and get in front of that target audience or that target client. There's so many niche and mission-based entrepreneurs that have and face those visibility gaps. And a lot of times it just comes from like lack of strategy. And that's
Yes.
why we create platforms like this podcast. We are here and we have built this to really be that bridge, right? Turn those barriers into bridges. So I'm happy you're on. I'm happy you're sharing your story. Another good way to help you to gain some of that visibility. But now I just want to get a little bit deeper into some things with you and wanted to talk about the audience, or we know that you're looking to attract individuals who are special needs. Is there any specifics to that? Like, what is your ideal audience or your ideal group that you've been working with consistently?
Well, it's not just to attract special needs because I
Yeah.
want to be diverse. Okay.
Okay.
I want the special needs to be accepted. So I
Yeah.
want to be just with Regular, I mean, I don't want to say regular individuals like Aiden and Braden say that's their word. I just want to be regular. But you are regular. I raise you as normal. Okay.
Yes.
I want just the population, just to be able to come into our social group and just be able to engage and just treat it with dignity and respect. If I'm saying that right,
Yes.
because
Definitely.
it's not just a special needs social circle. And that's what I don't want to broad that to be. It's just a community. We all coming together to be able to enjoy one another and teach life skills and be able to show them that you are special, that you are capable. You know what I'm saying? And then that just bothers me more with that. Aiden Brady talk about that. Ramona, I'm not being accepted. Yes, you are. You're being accepted. You
Right.
know, you just have to accept it within your heart.
Exactly.
Accept them. It might take you a little bit more time, but you will. You can't make friends like that, and you and I know that it takes a lot.
Yeah.
To build that friendship, to build that trust. You don't want everybody to know. I'm solo right now, and I'm happy though. But when I go out in the community, I know a lot of people. And I say, "Hey, how you doing?" or whatever the case may be. But just being in that space, it just takes a lot. So, um,
Yeah, and I know you mentioned before. I'm glad you mentioned that it's just you. Me being a solopreneur for so long and finally
hmm
getting to a point now where I have a small team of people. You mentioned needing help with like workforce development, scaling, and taking it
yes.
to the next level. So, what are some pain points that you've currently experienced in your operations as a result of being a solopreneur?
Just getting the knowledge, as far as
Yeah.
which winning company be in the business. And I have to share the story because when I started in this community, it's easy to go to get an EIN number. It's easy to go and get your business. But if you don't know anything about your business, you won't be successful. If
Yes.
you don't know what it takes to be in the business, I'm not good at marketing, but I want to learn that. I want to be good at whatever I do, but I know it's going to take strategy. It's going to take time for me to be able to get to that point. And with the help of you, like with a business plan and, just getting myself out there, I really want you to know from the bottom of my heart that I appreciate you believing in me. You
Of
know,
course.
I've come a long way at the end of the
Yes.
day. And it used to be that I didn't want to talk, but I'm doing it in some kind of way. I'm making it happen. And I'm making it happen not just for me, for my granddaughters and for Aiden and Braden to be able to get this awareness out of what is needed in the community, about us.
Yeah. And let me ask, because I know you mentioned, you're not that good in marketing and that's something you're trying to learn. Listen, I'm not that good at accounting, but I'm gonna tell you this. I tell people, whatever you're good at, stick with that. You don't
Yeah,
have to be a master of everything. The strategy comes into play in knowing how to take advantage of your resources and allocate them and reach out to different people in your network. That's where you
right,
tap into that community. Hey, I know you do marketing. I need you over here. Let's barter. I'll do this for you. You do this for me. I scratch your back. You scratch mine. It's
right.
a lot of good ways that you can kind of come up and kind of get it out of the mud in a sense. But I wanted to ask, like, if there's one thing that you think you could implement today, just something small. It doesn't have to be big. Thinking about your schedule and the way you're moving, I know you're trying to boost that visibility. What do you think you could implement right now that will kind of help to increase that visibility? Would it be posting more? Would it be doing more video content? What do you think that would be?
I would have to say marketing and video content because I need to learn how to get up there and be able to pitch more, share my story,
Yeah.
and be very creative in it and speak up. You know what I'm saying? I
Yes.
don't I don't do very well of that, but I'm willing to learn, do the process, get in that mirror, you know what I'm saying? And do those
Yeah.
videos, the little short 5-minute videos. I'm willing to learn and do that because if I come this far, I know I'm capable of doing it. It just takes time. It just
Yes.
takes time. It does.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. Well, and this is a perfect opportunity for you to think about a branded outreach campaign. I know you do a lot in the community, so
Yeah.
you're really good with relationship building, and that's a big piece of it. So that's one step in the right direction. So I have no doubt that you're going to make it happen. And of course, we're here to support. We welcome you to the Small Business Nation community.
Well,
Love to
thank
see
you.
you, yes, to work with you more on that note. And I just want to ask a couple more quick questions, and I'll let you go because I know we're on charted time here. But what's one thing that you feel, because I want to get back down to the deep root of how it truly feels to not feel seen or not feel accepted. So what do you think is one thing most people don't understand about the special needs community that you would wish that they would take more time to learn?
To be more accepted in the community. And when
Yeah,
I say accepted, there's going to be people that always look at you strange. Aiden and Braden get that. And when it happens, and I notice when we're in programs, when they get to talking because they have a speech delay. But
yeah,
that's one thing we're gonna overcome because they might, if you're looking at them, however, you like, okay, and then they might be with their friends and they talking all this, but when he actually get to say, "Ha ha, my name is Aiden," some people get to smile and they get to laugh and they get to choking. Well, then I have to sit there and I look. And Aiden, he'll get up and walk away and say, "That's why I don't like being in here." I said, "But Aiden, people got to get to know you, baby. You
yeah,
will be accepted, but you got to be able to stand on your own.
right.
You got to be able to stay on your own. You got to stand on your own." So
Yeah,
I'm just saying, accept it in different ways. But I can't change the world. The
yeah,
world is like it is, but we can be accepted and work more towards a safe space for them. And
yeah,
I'm hoping something will be created in Pontiac. But just being accepted,
yeah.
that's my hardest challenge with Aiden and Braylon that I hear the most. Just being accepted.
Yes, and with you being one of the major community.
Advocates for them.
Yes, I was going to say one of the biggest advocates right now. Tell us a little bit more about any special events or workshops or initiatives you have going. Please, we want people to know, to get more support and to bring more awareness on what you have coming down the pipeline.
But thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm glad you said it because every first month of Saturday, the very first Saturday, let me say this, the very first Saturday of the month, I have partnership with Pontiac, and we are at Ruth Peterson Center. And we
Okay.
at the Ruth Peterson Center, and our schedule is from 12 to 4. And I meet once a month. And that is my goal to create the safe space for them. So you are more than welcome to come out. My time is from
Okay.
12 to 4. It's the very first Saturday of the month, and come
Okay.
out and support us.
Yeah.
And I also created a walking. It's called Empower Social Circle Walking Club, and we meet every Saturday at the Great Lake Crossing from 8 to 10. You more than stay
Yeah.
longer if you choose to, but we're out there every Saturday walking.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Love it. Love it. Well, again, I really thank you so much for coming in and sharing. My last question, and this is a good one. If if Empower Social Circle had a theme song, if you could think of any song right now that would define Empower Social Circle and the feel behind Empower Social Circle, what would that song be?
Mm, if I could create a song, and the song that I think about all the time that I share with is community. If we can build this community up and we can stay strong into it. I can't think of the song. It's called Community, Community. Girl, I can't even think
Okay.
of it, but it's always up. I'm always about this community,
Yes.
building our community up so we can be as one.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you so much. I love it. I love it. We will be checking in. I'll be following up with you to get things rolling. But thank you so much for your time again, Ramona. We'll be talking soon. You have an awesome, awesome evening.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for your time and thank you for believing in me and thank you for this. I really do appreciate it.
Yes, you're welcome. Stay blessed.
All right, you too.
All right.
Bye
Bye.
bye.